Hello, it's Rick at Estimating Online. We're going to run through an existing property and we're going to do an upper floor for the purposes of this video. From the corner where I've got my pen at the moment all the way down through to the orange, that's the existing single story dwelling, and we're going to put on an upper floor that is highlighted in yellow. We're going to redo the kitchen, redo the laundry. The first requirement that we're required to do is work out, are we building on a sloping site? So for this project, we've got a measurement of 9.11 in the top left corner and 8.56 in the right hand corner. If the property is falling more than 1 meter, it's not a flat site. So this is a flat site. Double story, standard material. Complexity is an interesting question. If your trades feel the project is complex, a very high complexity, they're going to put in a high cost for contingency, markup, and margin. If it's medium, they're expected to put on a little bit more than normal. But if it's a low level complexity, they're putting on their standard markup and contingencies and costs. For this project here, there shouldn't be a lot of risk, so we're going to put it as a low level complexity. We're using a mid-level specification. The type of builder is based around how the builder is charged from the trades and suppliers. If you're a custom builder, your trades are charging you north of $90 an hour. If you're a project builder, your trades are charging you north of $60 an hour. If you're a volume builder, you're going to be charged north of $30 an hour. For this project here, we're going to try to keep costs low and we're going to negotiate with our trades to get the best price possible. So we're going to call ourselves a project builder. For the purpose of the estimate, we're working with 279 square meters. So what is happening on this project here is we are going to be ripping up the entire floor of this lower level, which is highlighted in yellow, and we're doing the upper floor. So my total building area is all the works that we're going to touch. Now in the orange here, we are going to renovate and we're going to repaint, rewire, and do new downlights. But we're going to cover that further down the bottom in each bedroom as we go through and do the estimate. My demolition area, I'm going to calculate the work that I'm going to be demolishing. So the total square meters is 78 square meters, which exceeds my standard allowance. And what I'm just going to do is I'm going to manually put in 78. I'm going to count all my bedrooms. So I've got 2 on the ground floor and I've got 3 on the upper floor. So 5 bedrooms. And we've got 2 bathrooms. This is set up my estimation. For the purposes, I'm going to show pricing, save, and start my price. So I'm looking at $560 to $580 as a builder's cost. Moving further into the project, I'm starting at earthworks. To the rear of the property of this estimation, we're going to be doing earthworks to probably everything on the ground level. When I click on this item in yellow, that is going to be the total area that we possibly could be doing earthworks on. We need to make a decision. As this is flat through here but more sloping to the back, I might take my area tool and only do earthworks allowance to these areas here. I might only allow 100 square meters of minor excavation, 120. If the excavation required structural changes where you're putting in core fill block work, you would use structural and excavation cost, which is a higher allowance. Provisional sums, I'm going to possibly increase my hard digging allowance, not by a lot. Because we are doing a renovation, we do need to repair the services. We are going to put in a rainwater tank, even though you're not shown on the property. Because we do have a large roof area, we are going to allow 3,000 square meters, 3,000 litres. As we move into the concrete, we're going to allow some internal beams to cover the ground floor. In the base, we do show that it's a traditional slab with perimeter footings. So for the purpose of this estimate, we're allowing rib beams to go through on the ground level. As we've got posts on the outside, there are 2, 4, 6 posts. That means I've got to have 6 pad piers. With my windows, I don't have a window or an elevation schedule. I've only got floor plans. So what I am going to do is I'm going to make an assumption. I'm going to make an assumption we've got awning windows through here. Just going to remove. I am going to make an assumption that we are going to be replacing all the windows at the front. So we're going to have awning windows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are going to put in 12 awning windows. 9 plus 3 is 12. With my external doors, on the ground level, I've got aluminium framed external doors. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 double hinge doors. Now you'll notice that I have included the doors over here. We are going to replace the works over here, but we're not including it in our building area because building area will cover earthworks, slab, walls, ceiling and roof. There is some single hinge doors, 1, 2, 3. My external walls are brickwork. My base inclusions is render. What I'm saying here is that in our base price, it has a standard render finish wall. As we are doing this in brickwork, you can see the bricks that are laid around the perimeter. My perimeter of this box is 71 meters. I'm going to assume that's about 15 to 20 meters. So my perimeter is about 50 meters. Continuing through to my elevations, as I don't have any other plans, I've only just got a sketch. I'm making assumptions. I'm not going to add any of those in. This outdoor area is a large pergola. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to allow 50 square meters of an outdoor pergola. That's in timber. 35 plus 15 is 50. Not going to put in any skylights. Now I'm going to go into the kitchen. As we're redoing the kitchen, I know the island bench top is about 4 meters. Therefore, against the wall is going to be another 4 meters. So I'm just going to allow 8 meters of stone bench top. I'm going to allow 3 meters of overhead cupboards. I'm going to add some more pot drawers in. I'm going to add a bin drawer. I'm going to add in a feature splashback. Feature pantry, double door pantry. When I get to the laundry, putting stone bench tops in the laundry. I do have a linen cupboard. I am not going to include this until I get into my main living area. So the powder room is going to be included in the main living area. As I get to my ensuite, which is my ground floor ensuite, we're actually not doing anything in there. We're going to leave the ensuite, so there is no additional costs in there. What we are going to do is because we're not doing anything, we are going to deduct 1 bathroom. We do have an allowance. If you want to reduce that allowance, change it to a low and the price will reduce. Bathroom 1, which is our upper floor bathroom. In our base inclusions, we have 1 kit. In this, we've got 2 basins. So what we've got to do is we've got to go to our plumbing fixtures and add a basin. It also shows on the plan that we need another shower kit. So we added a second shower combination. We have full height tiling. As I get to the main living area, the base is saying that I've got 4 downlights. 4 downlights is not going to cover living room, study, and hallway. What I need to do is I go to my downlights and I'm going to add in some more downlights. I'm going to put in 12 downlights. I'm going to put in another 10 power points. I'm going to put into some internal wall lighting. I'm going to leave my floor treatments as mid-level timber. I do have a desk through here that I do need to add into the system. I'm not measuring, I'm making suitable assumptions. The staircase is included. This powder room, we're going to add in through here as the powder room. As I get to the master bedroom, this is where I'm going to change my approach. In the master bedroom, it's not part of excuse me, it's not part of my building area. So what I need to do is I need to go to my renovate section. When I go to my renovate section, I've got the allowance to redo electrical and new lighting. I'm going to make an assumption that's 22 square meters. I'm going to be replacing 2 windows. Now the plaster is going to remain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repaint only. So my walls and ceiling is going to get repainted. My door is going to get repainted. My floor coverings, I'm going to remove and provide new carpet, 22 square meters. Bedroom 2 being my study, same process again. I'm going to do new lighting. I'm going to do new window. My plaster is going to stay, and then I'm basically going to repaint the ceilings and repaint my door. And I'm going to give you new floor treatments. Bedroom 3 being the upper floor. We've got a robe slider. Bedroom 4, robe slider. Bedroom 5, robe slider. And then I'm going to finish off my estimate and do a full ducted system. Large house requires a large aircon unit. I'm not going to do any external works. The only thing I am going to consider is redoing the painting to the front elevation. So my perimeter is going to be approximately 55 meters. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go to my external walls. Renovate, repair existing brickwork. Then I need, because the repainting is not in that section, I am going to go down to custom renovations, external walls. Nope, it's not found there. Is it in here? It's not in there. I need to add repaint external walls. Okay. For the purpose of the exercise, that's how we're going to renovate an existing property and add an extra floor. I'm going to save, and then I'm going to update my price. My new construction price is $890,000 to $943,000. At this next step, what we're going to do is we're going to take the chance to review our existing settings. I don't necessarily always have to agree with this construction price. If I go and change my complexity to medium, meaning I'm going to get charged a little bit more, then I refresh my price, I'm going to be looking at, nearly $1 million to do this project. If you feel that you're going to get charged more as an hourly rate from your trades, you change it to a custom home builder, then you update your price and you're going to 1.1 to 1.2 million dollars. I think that's more of a fair construction price. This is why I'm saying when you start your estimation, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to finish with those settings. That's all I've got for you today. Just to recap here as well, we're going to renovate the existing property, put on an upper floor, going through the settings, and then we're basically adding elements into the estimate. The new feature we've added into the program is when you go into the bedrooms and go into other, you've got the option to renovate each bedroom. That's the difference that we're trying to make, and we're trying to give you more flexibility.